Hello, this is Chaplain73 and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm here today interviewing 2020 PWS about an exciting event that's happening, an exciting project that's happening on the other side of the world to me. So I'm here very late at night and it's very early in the morning where 2020 PWS is. So it's all exciting stuff. Hi 2020 PWS, how's it going?
Hi. Very well.
Good.
Great to be on your channel.
No problem, no problem. And thanks for asking me to do the interview. It's an exciting project, and I'm hoping to learn a lot more about it today. So the first bit, could you just tell me a bit about who you are, what you do, and where you're based?
I'm a relational aesthetic culture jammer and interventionist. I work in public spaces a lot. This is where the exciting artwork's happening. Museums is too slow to react. The lead time is just, years. It's useless. The relational aesthetic is, the notion of every person's, importance. If you think about the Fatboy Slim video, Praise You, and the dancers that were dancing in that, it's sort of like flash mobbing, and it's, it was a stage from a while ago, but it's still relevant today with technology changes and those type of things. I'm based in Bondi Beach, but I'm in Broken Hill for the Biennale. I do a lot of paste ups. I spend a lot of time thinking. I really enjoy thinking. I'm looking for patterns across artworks and culture. The way you talk about a particular gallery having like a radio station, it's got the hits of the 60s and 70s, or last century, depending.
Okay, so can you tell me about where the idea for the inaugural Instagram International Street Paste Up Biennial Broken Hill, Australia came from, and how it came about and how it's going to work?
Well, I've been looking on Instagram, as I had been sort of avoiding all social media until 2 years ago, and I thought I'd get on Instagram. Through the street art photographers, which are a great resource in each city, I've seen wonderful works, and I can go to each person's site and look through their whole archive of works. And so in doing this, I ended up seeing, and a lot of them I felt were underappreciated. The works are great,
Yeah.
And I came across a Banksy post. Venice, he's, I've never been invited to a Biennale, and I just thought, there's something wrong. Why, there is something wrong. This guy's just a genius, I don't know, but, so I thought, I can do something about that. There's so many street artists, they stick their work out in public, and they're equally as good, it's just, the zeitgeist of the times is that a lot of people are sick of things and they want to have their say in the street. And I'm just looking at the wonderful works and the things they're saying. It's the poetry, it's beautiful. But to bring them all from all parts of the globe, like, the French scene, the New York scene, the English scene, the German scene, it's Australia, it's everywhere. And it's quite funny, they're all got a similar, activist. They can't sit down, they have to do something, which is wonderful. And how it's working? Well, and anyway, who's involved? Artists from all over the world, yes, which is just such a wonderful thing that they've trusted me and sent me the work, which is a responsibility I feel of, I've got to get them on the wall. Now, some of them are up on the walls, but I think they're so good that the general public have been actually taking a few off, which, is a bit annoying. But anyway, so how it works was that I would select the works that I saw. I would track down the artists through the photography for sites and ask them to post it here. I started off, and it just seems to have snowballed a bit. You know, I'm getting a great response for this sort of project. I've also thought that it's a bit like an academy, the Academy Awards. You know, there is no Academy Awards for this type of street art, but it is a movement. You know, it's a global movement. You know, it's relational aesthetic, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I've always found that with paste ups. Paste ups are very undervalued. Obviously, they're kind of like throwaway art, aren't they? They're just pasted up on a wall, and many people walk past them and don't even notice them. But some people walk past them and they spark an idea or an emotion or a response to the artwork. And I think that's really important with, you know, with all street art, is it's out there in the public domain and people, you know, notice it or don't notice it, and that's part of it, isn't it?
Well, yeah, intrinsically, it's like the situationless international. It's the approach that you have to the artwork when you're going to a gallery, you're big grand with security guards and everyone's, you know, sort of doing charge. Where if you're just walking down the street doing your thing, and then all of a sudden, whoa, changes your mind. It's like you're a commuter, and then you're a tourist, and everything is, you know, yeah. It's the brain and people thinking. It's you know, a wonderful thing, as I can see in the background. It's a question. You know?
Yeah, I love the ever-changing scenery of where people put paste ups and things. You know, the fact that you may go there one day and there's a paste up, and you go there the next day and somebody's pasted something over the top of it, and it's just ever-changing, and yeah, it's like a running commentary of your life.
True. Artists have also had to work in disused spaces, the leftover spaces, the spaces in between, and this is such a, you know, an important place to counter all the commercials that are thrown at us in the street. This is, you know, like an oasis in the desert.
Yeah, we are bombarded by messages, aren't we? Whether we like it or not.
True. But the intent, I suppose.
So artists have been sending work over to you. How long have they been sending work over to you? When did you first start this? And
probably a year and a half ago.
Right.
So I was planning to go in March, but COVID came, and which has actually been quite fortunate because so many more people have been doing things online and not being able to get out, and they can actually post me stuff. So it was like, that was the overseas travel for everyone, their works. Yeah.
Yeah. So can artists still send art over to you, or?
I've got a lot of work at the moment, and I feel it's a big responsibility for me to actually get it out there. And there's risk involved. So I'm trying to get the local community to actually embrace this. It's a bit of a slower process, but there obviously is resistance. But yes.
Well, that leads me nicely on to the next question. Can you tell me a bit more about Broken Hill and what made you choose that as a location?
Broken Hill's in the desert. The astronomers go to the desert to see the stars more clearly. No background noise. There's definitely a lack of graffiti and those sorts of things in this place. It's also been a very destroyed environment, this place. It's a mine. At 7 o'clock, you can hear the earth move every night as the dynamite goes off below us. But they removed all the trees for 100 kilometres around or more for the smelting furnaces, and it was a dust bowl, and they would have dust storms every day. And it's, a totally destroyed environment, but it's regenerating. So it's got signs of hope about it. But yeah, it's in the middle of sort of everywhere really nowadays.
Is it heavily populated? Is it?
It used to have 180,000 people, but now
Right.
it's 18,000 people. So
Wow.
there's quite a bit of abandoned industrial, mining equipment. And, yeah, it's
So
a funny little one.
so it's historically a mining area, and people have just abandoned it. And
Yeah, it was historically a mining area, but also it is historically an arts town as well. Quite a few outback Australian painters have been based here. And yeah, it is like a little cultural oasis out here. They sort of made Priscilla Queen of the Desert here at the, pub down the road. And they have the Broken Heel Festival. Yes. Yeah, it's definitely an oasis. It's an architectural gem of styles.
so is it starting to get more people there, or?
The housing and real estate's really quite cheap compared to the East Coast. And as we said, artists end up having to find the leftover spaces. So there's quite a bit of leftover space here. And it's rich with, writers, musicians, artists, weavers, potters, all sorts of people. So in that sense, it's got a really good foundation for development.
Fabulous. And so what are your future plans for projects, and have you got any projects that you're going to use paste ups in the future?
Yeah, it would be, this project is maybe a one-off, and well, I would actually like it to be a continuing project. If this town doesn't embrace it, I have had interest from other cities, so it would be good to continue this. It doesn't necessarily have to be in one particular city. With the network we have of all the artists over the world, we could, it could be like the Olympics for paste up. They can put in bids for their city to have the paste up, or anyway, their group. Yeah. Paste Up Anonymous in Dunedin, for instance, has been running a project similar already, so, which is fun. And the Ghost Collective in London. Sorry, yes.
No. It's absolutely fine. It's all my learning about what the project is, because obviously my ambition is to interview the other artists who are involved in the project.
Yes, well, good luck with that, because quite often I don't know, there may be language difficulties as they come from many different places.
I kind of understand that it is an international project, and there are people from all over the world. So there may be a few difficulties for me to overcome with language, but hopefully we will get by, and we will get some good content together, and be able to showcase the artists that are all involved.
Yes, well, the word biennale actually, or biannual, is actually like a seeding process. This is the germination, seeds in the ground. I think a lot of people will see the potential of this, and hopefully it'll be embraced and it will go on. I think it's important for these artists, their due respect somehow.
Yeah. I mean, I see a lot of artists over here in the UK who do a lot of paste ups. And some of the work they create is incredibly creative and ingenious, really, and it's just very underrated. And like I said before, people will walk past it in the street and not even notice it, but some people will notice it, and
it's a gift.
It's good that you are doing something, and you've come up with this project to sort of give it that recognition that it deserves, which
Thank you.
Well, that's fabulous. I I haven't got any more questions now, but thank you very much for spending your time today having a chat about the project. I wish you all the best with it. And like I say, I'll be interviewing over the next month or so. I'll be interviewing lots of other artists who are involved in the project and have probably sent you work that you're trying to look after.
Thank you so much.
No
so
problem.
admire what you do.
No problem. So if you've liked what you've seen today and you're interested in paste up art and you want to see more of these interviews with the artists who are involved in the project, by all means subscribe to my channel below, and obviously then you'll get notifications when the videos come out. So over the next few weeks I will be making some more videos with the artists involved, and I'd just like to say thank you very much to 2020 PWS.
Thank you.
And that's all from me now.